Alright guys, so some of you might run into this problem, but maybe you'd want to know more about it. What we have here is a broken off burr in the right side spindle of our Sirona MCXL. It's an oldie in it, I want to say 2012. Let me look at the date. Hold on. I'm not even sure. Well, it's too hard to get. Anyway, I think this is a 2010 maybe. The motors are inside. The newer versions have what they call a C1 motor, which has it outside, so it's easy to replace. What we're going to be doing today is cracking this open, pulling out the spindle motor and replacing it with a new spindle motor. So we got the part right here. This is the spindle motor that you need. You can order that through the appropriate channels, Patterson or whatever. Here's what it looks like in here. So yeah, we're going to be putting this in to replace this one. So you can see it's got a lot of this ceramic dust on it. That's the lock mechanism. Basically what we need to do is take out these four screws, I think, to separate this open. So be learning with me. Anyway, so I'm going to spend some time cleaning up around this seam, trying to scrape off some of the stuff with some scalers, and then we'll see if we can't crack it open and go from there. Show you what it looks like so you have a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. So what we were doing here is just kind of chiseling out this ceramic dust with a scaler. So make sure you get all this out of the thread or the star drive patterns. These are T10s. Make sure you can sit your bit all the way on it, otherwise you're going to end up stripping this out before you can put the torque on it. So I'm just trying to fit these in basically to they won't seat yet. So I'm going to sit here spending some time picking away at this to clean out the areas so I can get these to seat and then hopefully drive them out. Alright, we cracked all these loose, so now we just gotta take them out. Just gotta undo these screws. You can see all the buildup of the ceramic cuttings on here. It's pretty awful. So that's a short screw there. I think these are fairly long. These two, as I recall. So it's a long one. Pretty sure it's another long one. No, it's a short one. So short, short, and then long, long, I think. Yep, another long one. Okay, so now there's like a little groove in here. I'm just gonna use some really small screwdrivers to try to separate that. So what I'm using is just a flathead here. Kind of get in here and just, oop, yep, it's starting to separate again. Roll it over. Do the same thing on this side. See it starting to go. Anyway, I'm going to work on that a little bit. I'm going to use both hands. Alright, sorry I didn't film this. I needed both my hands. I ended up taking out these 3 T6 screws as well. Make sure you chisel them out real well, and then you can get them out. And then just, I kind of worked my little screwdriver around this and separated these 2 pieces. So there it is, like that. That O-ring doesn't look amazing in there. I'm actually replacing this piece because I was worried about this. That's what this O-ring looks like. Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna carry on here. I'm gonna lube these real well too, because these are the lubrication jets. And then we're gonna basically just pull this thing out here. This motor is just gonna come out gently. And I gotta disconnect this connector piece here so we can put in this new one. And reconnect that. All right. All right, we got the actual motor out here. This is it. This is the spindle motor. There's our stuck burr. I think it's worth mentioning these wire colors do not coincide to these connectors. So make sure you keep the orientation of this plug. Make note of it. So the white and blue need to go to the yellow and brown on the spindle motor. So if you happen to get the orientation wrong, make sure your white and blue wires are going to the yellow and brown, respectively, on the S1 motor. Let me double check and see if the new ones are that way. Hold on. I'm gonna use my other hand here briefly while we open this. Okay. Here we go. So same wiring configuration on the new one. You can see what a difference this one is. It doesn't have all the caked on stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be your brown and yellow on top. It's going to go in. Basically, this red dot's on the same side the red is. Cord, plug it in, put this back in place. We're going to get out our other part here, which is this motor mount. It's a new piece that I'm going to be putting on the front just because I don't want to deal with all the old caked up crud on the other one. And anyway, and then make sure you lubricate these with probably like a water-based grease. I'm going to be using some silicone grease right here. Don't use an actual oil grease. It'll probably break down the O-rings. All right, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, get our new motor in place, and unbox that other motor mount, and then we'll put it all back together. Thought I'd show you guys just what comes in the motor mount package here. Basically, you get this little package of new O-rings and some Loctite to put the screws back in. So here's what all this looks like here. So we got new seals here for the motor, which is great. The actual housing itself, which is fantastic. So there's that little blue O-ring, the black ones. So they go right here and here respectively, and then got this whole outside one which we're replacing with this piece here. It punches out. I might save that. I don't know. We'll see. And this goes on the actual spindle motor itself on the end. Mine came with one already on it, but I might replace it just with a new one. It doesn't come with the back piece. And then obviously we've got the new chamber mount here. And the best part is it comes with the new screws, which are nice and clean. Where did it go? Oh, well, I had some screws here. It comes with screws, though. I promise. Yeah, so I'm going to get to work on that and replace it. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, I think one of these O-rings is actually like that black one down there. You guys can see it way down there to do its job of sealing up the other hole on this motor. I don't know what that hole's for, but maybe it runs coolant through it. Yeah, the motor must be Motor must be water cooled or something? I don't know. Anyway, we'll make sure to replace that O-ring that's in this old one with the new one here. So, I've got my new O-rings put on here and here. That all came in the kit. I decided I'm going to leave this gasket. It looks pretty good. I'm just going to put a little bit of the grease on there and hope for the best. I mean, worst case scenario, leaks, ruins another spindle motor. I got to buy another one, right? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is mount the new motor. There's the new O-ring I put down there. Mount the new motor in this first. Kind of fit the connector in there and then try to marry them together while sliding it on. It's going to be really hard to film because I don't have a tripod here. I'm just using my other hand, so I might have to kind of like do it in steps. I'll stop kind of along the way to show you the iterations of it and kind of go from there. I think this would have been super helpful for me just to see how this broke apart. Anyway, kind of how it goes apart. Anyway, let me get the motor mounted in. Oh, I found the new screws that came with the kit. This alone's worth it. Just new hardware, so you don't have to worry about it. Just a dab of Loctite on there. I believe that's the red, which is permanent. So, not going to use much because I don't want my future self, if I have to replace this again, to make it too hard. But don't want them coming out either. All right, see you guys back here in a few minutes. All right, we're back. So this is the new motor mount. Looks nice compared to our old ones. I have put the motor in here. It this connector kind of just fits in this thing here. And then I kind of just slid the zip tie down so it was under here so it would make sure not to bind. So basically what my plan is, I put a little bit of grease on here, the seal. I torqued down these 3 screws which actually hold the motor to this thing. They're the T6s. And we're going to just kind of gently slide all this back together in like this. And then just manage to get that connector to marry up to the other one. I might grab a hemostat or something and just kind of slide them together. Again, this can be two-handed operation, then just slide the pieces back together. Torque them down, don't go crazy on it. Don't go crazy on any of these things, just snug them down. Little Loctite should do. These are small fasteners. I'm not using a torque wrench, but you could. Yeah, if you don't do a lot of mechanical work, maybe look up the torques and find a really small torque wrench for it, but as doctors, we all have a pretty good feel, I think, of this, especially doing implant work. All right, I'm going to come back after we get these mated together, tighten them down, and yeah, run a calibration and go from there. All right, we're back. This wasn't too bad. I just kind of married the 2 connectors together. I just used a screwdriver on my finger to kind of stabilize it. So, sorry, I'm trying to get my light out of the way. Here we go. So what we're going to do is just kind of push these back together. Yeah, that feels really good. And now we're going to use the screws, I think, to hold it all together. And down. So, just going to put back all these screws in the same orientation we had them last time. So as I recall, pretty sure it was, yeah, refer back to the video. That's what I'm going to do. Where the long ones go and where the short ones go. All right, we'll see you back here. All right, so we're back. This is a long screw. This is a long screw. Short one, short one. It holds that block in that does the... Oh, and then this is the Loctite. Don't go crazy. Just put a little bit on there. It's the blue Loctite. I stand corrected, which is a more temporary one. And then I'm just tightening these down. We just want to close the gap. So this one, these 2 short ones hold that block in that holds the prongs for the cooling lines that and I mean, I'm just snugging them a little bit. Don't go crazy, like I said. Best advice one of my dental school professors ever gave me is don't be stupid, and I agree with that. So I'm just tightening these down until that gap closes up, and then when I have both hands, I'm just going to snug them down a little bit more, and then we're going to run a calibration on this thing, call it a day. So it's back together. So it was scary. This really wasn't that bad a job. I highly recommend getting the motor mount. Comes with new O-rings, seals, this piece, new hardware, which is great. It's like $500 from Patterson. And then spindle motor, those are a little more. I think it's like $3,000 basically. but worth it. And then this rubber thing is actually the back of the spindle motor. You can see it here if you ever wondered. This pushes in from these pins here to lock the motor. You want to make sure you grease these with Dentitech. All right, hope that really helps anybody. Shoot me some questions and comments if you have questions about this. I'll do what I can. I'll take one more video of the calibration and go from there. All right, we're back at the machine here. Gonna put the burrs in. And run a calibration here. I gotta actually find the right hand burrs. I'm not sure where they are. I'll be right back just a second. All right, you can see we got our calibration pins and everything in here, so we're gonna close the door, let it get after it. Yeah, run your calibration and then pretty much you're good to go. Sounding good, motor spinning. So yeah, we'll let it calibrate, let you guys know what happens, and then yeah, that's it. All right, well, that's what we like to see. I'd say it's fixed. That's about it. It's a wrap. Machine looks good. This is the new, a little noisier than the last one, but yeah, it seems all right. That's about it. Like I said, let me know if you have any questions. See if I can help you. Take care. Bye.